Welcome back, class. We're going to finish up this chapter talking about what the authors refer to as a best cost strategy. I don't want to say it's the best of both worlds, but it's a strategy that, uh, especially a business level strategy, followed by companies that charge relatively low prices and offer substantial diversification. It's almost a concept where um, companies want it all. And it's difficult to implement. If you can do it, if companies can pull it off, they're usually extremely successful. It you have to actually pull it off. You have to create unique features. You have to communicate it to your customers. Communicating to customers, it includes or incorporates advertising. Advertising is not cheap. Remember, go back to your profit formula. Profit equals revenue minus cost. You're going to have to, through these strategies, increase revenue at a faster pace, and you're increasing your cost, or your profit margins are going to tend to deteriorate. Um, Companies, that are somewhat successful following this strategy open themselves to attacks from rivals and competitions. But again, remember, unless you're a monopoly or an oligopoly, you're going to have to worry about competition, entrepreneurs, rivalries, new companies, however you want to look at it, coming into the market, especially if the market or if the strategy is generating economic profits. And again, economic profits, uh, if you're looking, go back when we're talking about accounting profits, it's just revenue minus cost, revenue minus the explicit cost. When we're talking about economic profits, it's revenue minus explicit cost minus the implicit cost. And that implicit cost is essentially the opportunity cost of conducting business. So when you're driving economic profits, you're going to have companies, unless there are significant barriers to entry, you're going to have companies lurking out there that are going to try to jump into your market and are going to try to steal some of those economic profits. And as they come in and they start bidding those economic profits down, they will stay in your market until economic profits either drive to zero or they drive to a negative fashion. And if they drive to a negative fashion, I will guarantee those companies will try to leave the markets at that point. When you're talking about these companies that have, I guess, enable themselves to fit into this best cost strategy, again, it's they're trying to drive low prices and they're trying to create brand loyalty, customer loyalty. Think about Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines has done a really good job developing a culture, developing a business level strategy in which most airlines can't compete with. They don't even try to imitate it. Target has tried to, um, I guess I don't want to say compete with Walmart, but Target has tried over the years to develop a strategy where they're trying to drive some um, prices lower than department stores, lower than grocery stores, but also providing a level of product that is a little higher scale than what most people see at Walmart. You've got Chipotle. When they first came out, it was a novel idea and they were doing a really good job. But now you've got, um, I can think of Moe's. Now you've got Moe's Mexican that's a similar, really a similar model to what Chipotle had, and they're giving Chipotle a lot of competition. And the one that they brought up in the text that I didn't think about, and I think part of it is uh, it's the price point that they sell the beer at, and it's also the customer loyalty they have, and that's PBR. And Pabst Blue Ribbon has been around, seems like forever, and there is a certain loyalty and a certain following for Pabst Blue Ribbon, and it's one of those kind of beers either you like it or you don't like it. And through brand recognition and customer loyalty, they've actually done a really good job in this best cost type strategy. If you're a company and you're going to pursue the best cost strategy, It's best to do it through a low overhead business model. Company adopts a business model in which fixed cost and overhead are very low relative to competitors. Think in the text, they talked about eBay, they talked about Amazon, where they are driving e-commerce through the internet. There's no sales offices, there's no bricks and mortar that they have to subsidize. So their long run average costs are, that's heading and trending in that right direction. They've got some economies of scale. Also think about mobile, I guess we want to call them mobile food trucks. They are, that's their sales channel, and they are driving around certain places in different towns. And again, low cost model, no bricks, no mortar, and they can sell a product that a lot of people like. And when I worked in Buffalo, there was a food truck Tuesday, there was a food truck Thursday, there was an area kind of that tried to revitalize in downtown. And during the summer, not only they had concerts, but they had food truck Tuesday nights at the concert. So food trucks were a huge deal in Buffalo, and you saw them in Philadelphia, especially around UPenn's campus. There were some really high quality food trucks, and again, it's a low cost business model, and while they may not sell a lot of volume in those food trucks, it's a very profit competitive volume because again, they're controlling that cost side of that profit equation. And then the text kind of tries to finish up with, I guess, a portion of this chapter, and they call it stuck in the middle, neither inexpensive or differentiated. And that's probably not the best market to be in, or that's probably not the best business level strategy to adopt. And they gave examples of Arby's, Circuit City, which used to be a huge electronics store that I don't know whether I assume they're not, I haven't seen one in a long time, so I assume they've gone out of business. You've got Sears. Sears used to be a staple in a lot of cities. And you've got Kmart. Kmart tried to butt heads with Walmart and failed. And it's a situation in which a business level strategy does not offer features that are unique enough to convince customers to buy its offerings, and its prices are too high to compete effectively based on price. It's this way. That's why they call it stuck in the middle. That they can't. They're not very competitive either from a cost perspective or a product differentiated perspective. They lack clear market competitive pricing, and there's a lack of brand loyalty. Doing everything means doing nothing well. And again, you saw that in the middle of the text or down toward the end. And executives deciding what not to do is as important as deciding what to do. And you have a lot of executives that are hung and they can't make a decision either way. Business level strategy should not involve trying to serve the varied needs of different segments of customers in an industry. And you will have, especially in healthcare, you will have some health plans that do extremely well when they're talking about the commercial market, extremely well when they're focused on Medicare Advantage products, extremely well if they're talking about working with the VA or TRICARE, but yet they don't do well at all in the Medicaid market. And you've got some health plans that have just focused primarily on the Medicaid market, and they're doing extremely well. They are differentiated to the point they're serving that narrow market. They don't worry about the commercial market or the Medicare Advantage market or any other government programs. They're just focused on that Medicaid market, and they do pretty well. And that's the same with businesses. And you can probably think of a lot of them that focus on these niche markets. And they're not trying to serve a wide variety of customers. One of the biggest issues when you're talking about business level strategy you have to worry about is getting outmaneuvered by competitors. The companies can get stuck in the middle with prices and customer service and nowhere to go. Customer service was outmaneuvered by Best Buy. And You'll see that a lot in the business markets or business industries. And as you go out, either you may already be in the job market, and if you're looking for a new job, just ensure that you have an idea of what the business level strategy is, or what it tries to be, and also do a little vetting, do a little due diligence before you go in for that interview, and try to figure out what kind of a company you're interviewing with. It's the same thing if you're getting out of college with your undergraduate degree or maybe a master's degree and you're looking to get into the job market. Do your due diligence, because there's nothing worse than doing a really good job, interviewing, taking that job that you think is great, and then you get in there and you start looking around and you think this company is the pits. And at that point, you're going to have to start looking again. So with that, I think we're going to wrap up. And when we come back next time, we're going to talk about, I think in chapter 6, we're talking about supporting the business level strategy. So next time we get together, we'll talk about chapter 6. Thank you.